If someone were to ask you to send your media kit over right now, what would you do? If your answer is to panic and then Google what a media kit is and try to put something together and panic again, then this episode is definitely for you. And if you're also someone who's like kind of familiar with the term but not really sure if having a media kit is right for you, this episode is also for you. So let's get down and dirty talking about media kits. Hello, my beautiful entrepreneurs. My name is Tabitha, and welcome to A Hot Mess Builds an Empire. I help day one entrepreneurs take that first terrifying leap into business ownership without completely losing their minds in the process. This channel is for the people who are standing on the edge of something really scary, but also equally just as marvelous, wondering if they are absolutely unhinged for even considering the jump. So, before we get into today's episode, I just want to go over a few things. In 4 days, 4 days, the mess hall launches. I'm so excited. It's really my first ever like live event that I'm doing. I'm going to be hosting the mess hall once a month. It's $5 per session, totally reasonable. And we're going to do monthly themes. I'm going to have workshops. I have guest speakers that are coming later in the year. So I'm very excited about what it is that is happening with the mess hall. Secondly, I also have a coaching service called Hot Mess Triage. This is a one-on-one business coaching service for day one entrepreneurs who are just looking for maybe a 30-day plan or 60-day plan, looking for some clarity, looking for some help with their business and getting started. Maybe you're not getting started at all and you just have a bajillion questions because everything is conflicting and social media is crazy and all the things, right? So please go to the link in my YouTube description, which leads you to my Stand store, which you are able to sign up for a one-on-one with me, or you are able to sign up for the mess hall, which launches in 4 days. Also, I've been playing around with the lighting a little bit with my videos, so just trying to change it up. I was kind of tired of looking at the same old, like just sort of regular lighting. So this is for me having a little fun. And if you hear just my microphone's actually pretty good, so you probably won't hear it. But if you hear like a slight hum, like a fan in the background, it is freezing here and I have a space heater on. And it's like one of those space heaters that's like a constant fan. It's not just like one of those radiating space heaters. Yeah, it like you guys, it went from being 80 every single day for like 10 days, and now we have a freezing warning tonight, which is just so bizarre, so crazy. But the heat is already off in my house for the year. So, space heaters it is, right? And the studio, this space that I'm in, is actually one of the coldest places in the house because it gets no sunlight because it's in like I don't know what directional corner this is, but it's in the back of the house under some trees and the sun gets the front of the house and I'm in the back of the house. So like it's just always cold back here because it just doesn't really get sunlight. And it's cold back here like all year long. So I just like always have a space heater. And now it's freezing. It's just absolutely freezing. So if you hear the fan, I apologize, but your girl is cold. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to answer the most basic question. What the heck is a media kit, right? So, a media kit is very similar to a resume. It tells people who you are, what you're about, your experience. But this goes to brands, collaborators, sponsors, press outlets, stuff like that. And basically, what it does is it just tells people who you are, what you stand for, what your audience looks like, what your reach looks like, your audience's demographics, and if you've worked with other people before, but it's all in one single document. Um, so it basically answers every surface level question a brand or collaborator could possibly have, and it will tell them everything it is that they need to know if you're worth their time or not. And I know that sounds very like um shallow and judgy, But I've also received media kits that I was very grateful for me to go like, this person would be a great collaboration with me, and this person would not be a great collaboration with me because my audience would get nothing from it. Right? So media kits are very helpful ways of communicating to one another for collaboration, for brands, etc. So who actually needs a media kit? Now, some of you out there are probably like, do I even need one? And I'm just going to say yes. If you're watching this video, then yes, you probably need a media kit. And I think it's really important, and I'll get into this in a second, but I think it's important for you to have one at the ready because I'm very, 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 very much a big believer in having your systems and processes in place to anticipate anything else. So I just truly think that if you're considering having a media kit, just build a media kit. I'm going to be sharing my media kit from like a couple years ago because I don't really use them too much right now. But I am going to be sharing what my media kit looked like a few years ago towards the end of this episode. So you kind of have a good example to see of, well, I don't know if it's a good example, but an example of what a media kit looks like, but a real media kit, not a template, not copy and paste and download this template thing. Like it's my actual media kit I use to give to brands. So, the only thing that's missing from it is my contact information because you don't need that. Um, but yeah, so I will be sharing an old media kit that I used to use that I did partner with brands and collaborate with um, some companies and stuff on. So it was successful in its own way. And yeah, so, but who actually needs a media kit, right? Content creators, like, and I'm talking bloggers, vloggers, Instagrammers, TikTokers, like you name it, influencers if you consider yourself that specifically, but anyone who is looking to collaborate with a brand or collaborate with other creators or looking to do sponsored posts or sponsored deals or whatever, what have you, having a media kit is just a really great introduction to just letting people know who you are. And I have cold emailed people because that's part of what I used to do as a travel blogger. I would cold email tours and boards and stuff like that, or DMCs, and I would just be like, "Hey, I'm going to be in your area. Here's my media kit. Would love to partner with you on XYZ thing. This is what I do. This is what I write about, whatever, what have you." And some people would be like, "Hey, we don't need that right now because we're focusing on gastronomy, this year. So you're not a food blogger, so we're not interested." And that's totally cool. And other people would be like, we are focused on, you know, sharing the weird stories of our particular area this year, and we would love to partner with you. So like it it's very easy for someone to look at your media kit and go like, "Oh yeah, I would totally work with this person." I also really want to point out that this is for any following, okay? Um, this is for if you have a big following. This is for if you have what we call you a micro influencer, right? A micro niche. I think, I used to believe that if I didn't have commas and K's in my following, I wasn't worth someone's time. And that's just not true. Now, I will tell you that COVID kind of changed things for a couple years in the travel industry because tourism boards greatly had their budgets cut and all my contracts got canceled, but people who had like 1 million followers were still making money because that's what the tourism boards wanted. They would stick to like one major influencer, pay them the budgeted amount that they had, and that's who they would go to instead of working with a bunch of micro influencers. Because at the time I had like, I don't know, 1,000 or 1,500 followers or something like that. So I was, very much considered a micro influencer. And I just don't want you to look at your following and be like, I have 500 followers. What could I possibly do? A lot. So don't don't numbers shame yourself out of creating a media kit. Create the media kit. And there are other ways that you can show people how fantastic you are and how fantastic your business is and why people should be working with you. So don't number shame yourself at all about this. We're talking about media kits here today. how to build them, what they're about. And there's no judgment or number shaming throughout this entire thing whatsoever. So I think it's really important for you to just always have a media kit on standby, something that you update like once or twice a year. I used to update mine every 6 months because I would, have new trending blog posts. My demographics would change, my following, my reach, my engagement percentage would change or go up or go down or whatever. So, I was updating it every 6 months. That was what I did. I can't speak for other people because I know, like, depending on the brands that you work with, like, say you worked with Hilton and Marriott in the last 6 months, you obviously would want to have that in there. But then, say the next 6 months, you didn't really do anything and you took some time off, or, your particular niche is not as lucrative the second half of the year, like, then you would just still keep, I worked with Marriott and Hilton in earlier this year on your thing. Like, it's okay that it would be like a year old or 6 months old or 8 months old, that kind of thing. So, um, but you definitely need one. And I'm all about systems and processes in place when you first start your business. Like, that is what you should be focusing on, is having things ready to go. So after you have like seamless processes in place for you and seamless processes in place for your clients and your customers and all that jazz, you should have a seamless process in place for collaboration. And when I say collaboration, I mean that very broadly, in terms of like sponsored posts, user generated content, like all that kind of stuff. Um, so I'm just going to say like collaboration, and I literally mean like all encompassing when it comes to collaboration, like paid, sponsored, not paid, but a collaboration with like a higher domain authority for your blog, like that kind of thing. Like anything you can think of that would be collaboration, that's what I mean, okay? But it's just so much better to have one and have a rapid response to someone, and have someone go, "Hey, I'm interested in working with you. Can I see your media kit?" And then you going like, "Sure, I'll get that to you next week." No. Have one at the ready, have one ready to go so you can just be like, "Yeah, absolutely, here it is." And don't apologize for the numbers. If you're just starting out and you're like, "Oh my God, my numbers, my numbers, my numbers," stop it. Stop it. So don't worry about the numbers. You want people to know who you are. You want people to know who you've potentially worked with, collaborated with, trending articles, if you're a blogger, that kind of thing. So, um, yeah, just have one. Just have one. If you're not sure if you should have one, if you're like, well, I don't know if I want to do sponsored posts, I don't know if I want to do this, I don't know if I want to do that, just have one. Just have it at the ready, because you never know. A really cool brand might reach out to you that sways you in the direction of, yes, I would absolutely love to do sponsored content. And then you're scrambling to create a media kit. Just have a media kit ready to go. It's better to do it calm and collected, because you have to get information from a bunch of different places, than you scrambling at 11 o'clock at night trying to respond to an email and not lose out on an opportunity. So I say just make the damn media kit. Okay, so what goes into the media kit? I started to say it before, but I do have a list here in my notes, so bear with me. You guys know that I like to look at the camera as if I'm talking to you directly into your beautiful eyes, but I just want to make sure that I have everything here. So you want a clear and compelling bio, who you are, what you do, who you serve. You want your audience demographics with an age range, location, or maybe their interests, and why that audience is valuable to a brand or collaborator. You want your platforms and their stats, which includes follower counts, engagement rates, monthly views, or impressions. I used to use impressions and like engagement rates. My engagement used to be really, really, really good. I used to have like 32% engagement. But that was me as a micro influencer, right? Like, your engagement is higher the lower your following count is. But because my engagement rate was so good and I had decent conversion, like that helped me stand out even though I didn't have a big following. So don't focus on the following number, because there are other numbers that could look really good for you. So no number shaming, like I said, but just facts of my particular situation. Um, you want to talk about the services or offerings that you have. So, what are you actually available for? Like sponsored content, brand partnerships, speaking engagement, features, etc. You want people to know what it is that you can do for them. If you have past collaborations or press features, social proof goes a long way. So, links to them, or I used to work with Road Trippers, which was, is like a road tripping magazine here in the US. And they do a lot of stuff. And I used to work with them in Campgrounds of America. And, so I have testimonials from working with them, um, that I used to use in my media kit to showcase that, hey, I worked with this brand. Here's what they said about working with me. Um, so it's just like there's a lot of good things that come out of having past experience, right? Like the same as you would see on your resume. However, if you are new to this and you don't have any experience in it yet, it's okay. It's okay. Not number shaming, not past collaboration lists shaming. It's just if you have it, it's nice, put it in there. But we're talking about who you are and what you do and who you serve is the most important thing. So please don't go into this going like, oh my God, Tabby used to work with this people, or she worked with this hotel, or this tourism board. No, just listen. We all have different paths and different experiences and different connections and different conventions we've all gone to connect with people. Like, there's so many different things that people have done, and people have done way cooler things than I have done. And sure, I've done some cool stuff, but um this is not about shaming in any way possible. This is about giving factual information. So I hope that's coming across, like that I'm not like, well, if you don't have 100,000 followers, like I've never had 100,000 followers, and I got jobs off of my media kit. So like let's be real here. You also want to include your contact information. You want to make it easy for people to reach you, because if it's hard, they will not bother. So I highly recommend you have a specific email address that is for collaborations, which is what you will see blacked out on my on my media kit when I show it to you guys, cuz I don't need spam mail or fan mail or nude pics or anything like that. Like, I just don't need to be part of shenanigans, or people signing me up for their newsletter because they have no understanding of the etiquette of just don't sign me up for your newsletter if you have my email address. But anyway, um but yeah, that's about it. This thing does not need to be a novel, but it needs to be clear, current, and easy to read and quickly to read. This is the same thing as having a resume for a job. Like, you have, what is it, like 3 to 7 seconds worth of grabbing someone's attention with your resume. So that's why the first part is like the most important. Like, having some type of professional summary is really important these days on a resume, because people will read through that professional summary and they'll just be like, meh, this person's not for me. They don't have the experience that it is that I'm looking for in math, or whatever it is that people, look at that stuff for. So you want it to be easy to read, easy to find information, easy to find your contact information. Make sure people can contact you via an email address. I know some people, like in the blogging industry, would include their WhatsApp numbers. I did not go that far because I just did not want to set up um, the responsibility and obligation on my end to make sure that I was communicating with people through WhatsApp. I communicated with one collaborator through WhatsApp, and it was horrible because English was not their first language. I only know English because, hashtag American. Um and that collaborator was difficult to communicate with via WhatsApp because they were expecting answers right away. They were expecting pictures through WhatsApp right away, but it downgrades the quality and the videos. So like, it was just, I don't recommend giving out your phone number. But I do recommend having a specific email address for collaborations specifically. It's just so much easier to keep track of everything. and doing it through something like Google, you can have different folders that you can provide to people from that drive, from that email address, and to give your deliverables, right? So there's just like good stuff behind that. So I say this in other episodes in reference to just sort of like in general, um, do it, like get it done, don't do it perfect. This is also going to apply to your media kit because you're going to sit there and you're going to be like, I don't have enough followers. I've never worked with anybody yet. I've never done sponsored content yet, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Nope, we're not playing that game. Get the media kit done. Don't mess around with it. Just have it done, have it ready to go. And it does not need to be this ridiculously elaborate thing. Don't use cursive fonts. My God, please don't use cursive fonts. Use like clear to read fonts. Like a good serif font goes a long way. Does not have to be dramatically like looking like some weird Pinterest board or anything like that. Like it just keep it simple with the fonts. Don't go crazy with the fonts because you want it to be easy for people to read and reach out to you. Um, but the whole point is that this does not have to be perfect. It has to exist. There's two big differences there. I know people who don't create media kits because they're waiting on follower accounts to get bigger. I know people who don't create media kits because they've never worked with someone before, so they think they shouldn't have one. But they're a creator that wants to work with people, right? And sometimes as an entrepreneur, you want to work with people, but you like me, I consider myself to be an entrepreneur. I do a lot of creative stuff with my multimedia studio. I have cold pitch people with a media kit. Sometimes it was unsuccessful, sometimes it was successful, sometimes I didn't hear anything back. Like the same way that you apply to jobs, where you get ghosted, you hear something, you get rejected, you don't hear something, like it's literally the same type of thing. So, um, it just let it exist. Let it serve the purpose of telling people who you are, who you serve, and who your demographic is. And this way people will know like, oh, Tabitha's demographic is 71% women. And I think it was something like 65% of them lived in the United States or something like that when I was looking at my media kit, my old one that I'm going to share with you. That gives people a lot of information because if they're looking to work with women who are 25 to 45, live in the United States, and I speak to mostly women, well, I'm your gal because that's exactly my demographic. And you can start to get more specific with your demographic as time goes on, like with Google Analytics and stuff like that. It'll let you know like disposable income and this, that, and the other. And, you can start to work your avatar that I've talked about creating, the information of your avatar into the story that it is that you're telling throughout your media kit. So, um, but like Canva has templates that are super easy to go through and change around. Um, there are creators that have created decent media kits. I want to say I bought a media kit. Well, I bought like a whole bundle of stuff from this one creator. She doesn't do it anymore. She sold her company. But I bought a bundle of stuff, like how to have a pricing deck, how to have a media deck, how to have a media kit. Like I bought all these templates from her in a bundle because I was just like, I I don't know any of this stuff. And even if I think the template bundle itself was like 20 or $30, it was so worth it because everybody was gatekeeping information at the time, that to get this template just told me everything it is that I needed to know about what it is that I needed to do. So, I'm very grateful for that bundle that I purchased. And, then I turned it into my own thing. But it's just so important that it exists. And now it's so much easier to find media kit templates out there, especially on Canva. And I want to say Adobe has some media kit templates now too, because they're starting to do a lot more with Express and stuff like that to kind of rival Canva and blah blah blah. So, um, check out the templates available to you on whatever service it is that you pay for. Canva has a free account. You can get free templates. I'm sure you can get free media kit templates. So don't be afraid to check that out. But the whole point of this is that it should exist. Don't worry about perfection. It should exist. So I do want to say this one more time. I actually put a very specific section of bullet points here about the numbers conversation. You do not need a massive audience to be able to collaborate with someone or a company. You do not need a massive audience to matter to people. Usually, a micro niche or micro influencer has a higher engagement rate, higher conversion rate, because you have the ability to be more involved with people on your platform. And um, I have found that when the economy is better with certain things, people love hiring micro influencers because the conversion is really good in terms of like people clicking through to blog posts or people visiting, whatever link that has been provided for some kind of deal or something like that. Like there's usually like better stuff that happens being a micro influencer than not. And sometimes you can partner with other influencers, other creators, and go to a brand together and be like, hey, this is our set of media kits. We would like to do this thing together. So, all told, like, this is how many people you would be getting exposed to with this product idea that we have. Like, don't be afraid to coordinate with other creators to collaborate with brands. Like, I've seen many people do it. So, you know, don't get hung up on the numbers aspect. It's so easy to feel like your validation is in follower count, and it's not. It's really not. So I just beg of you, please. Like I have literally a special section here that's like, do not judge yourself over your numbers. Do not feel embarrassed by your numbers. There's a lot to be said for somebody that has a very engaged following of 2,000 people versus a very not engaged following of 100,000 people. Two completely different types of following. So, um, just be honest in your media kit and you're good to go. Okay, so now for my media kit, um, I'm gonna have it just like it's gonna be a picture that's gonna pop up at some point in time while I'm talking, but I have it here in front of me, and I'm just gonna read it to you because I think the font's gonna be kind of small. Here we go. Okay, so as you can see, I have my contact information blocked off. I I know it's not I know you're probably looking at this like, well, why is your Instagram and Twitter and Facebook blocked off? Because I actually archived those accounts and I started a new account Tabitha at tabitha.bear on Instagram. So I don't have the old account that's on here anymore. It's archived. Um but it says about Tabitha. Tabitha Bear is an Indigenous traveling multimedia specialist. She focuses on producing projects that highlight the unique histories and landscapes of destinations around the world through photography, writing, road trips, and folklore. She is the current host and producer of the podcast World Her Story. This was the year World Her Story came out, so that's why I found it was very relevant to have that in here. Um, Road tripping was my specialty, and this is when I was more into sharing folklore, sharing unique histories of destinations, and my photography stage, which you'll see on the backside of my media kit here in a second. But as you can see, my reach across all platforms was about 280,000. And that is because I did so well on Pinterest and my conversion was very good on Pinterest at the time. My following was 61% women, 65% of my following was from the United States, and 71% of my following was between the ages of 25 to 44. So this is what the front looked like. That is a shot that I took in Iceland. It's a panoramic shot, comprised of like 230 images or something like that. But I wanted to showcase just a little bit of my photography. Um, in my media kit somehow because I know sometimes people will include a picture of themselves, a picture of some of their work, whatever, what have you. But I decided to include this picture because at the time it was my favorite. And the back side looks like this. Again, I kept my contact information in the same place, same contact information. And then I shared concepts and services. So on the left, I have concepts. Our partnership will create engaging content through photography, video, and or articles that inspire travelers to write their own adventure and visit your destination. Travelers want to be part of the story. My content will showcase your theme and allow visitors to be a part of that journey. As a folklore hunter and road trip enthusiast, I help highlight unique history and stories. Travelers learn a different way to experience and explore your local culture. Let's work together to share your story so travelers never miss an adventure. My services were photography. I did social media content, of course, videography. I had a travel blog. I called it dronography. I'm not sure if that's really the terminology for it, but I used to carry around drones with me. And I did photo licenses, which was kind of lucrative if you got the right person who had the right budget for that. But yeah, so that is my media kit from, when is it from? 2023. So like I said, that's actually my most recent media kit because I I sort of fell off the travel photographer wagon and pivoted pretty hard into being myself. Um so now my media kit would look totally different because I'm very consistent on YouTube. But I have like no followers on YouTube. So um that's something that I'm working on. My blog is being revived. So that's something that my analytics would be completely different on that. I have a brand new Instagram account. So again, that would complete, like, I don't even have all the analytics because I have less than 100 followers on my new Instagram account. That's how new this Instagram account is. It's doesn't even, I can't even access all the information about my followers because I don't have enough followers to access the information. So but I'm still out here. I'm still out here hustling. And I used to pay attention to those numbers. I used to get upset about those numbers, but I don't anymore because you know what? At the end of the day, like, my self worth can't be in these numbers of me pivoting and starting over again and doing this again and trying this again and or trying something new or trying something different. Like, I can't be a business owner and like just a business sufferer at the same time. I just don't have the time for that. Um so um I think there are some, what did I write here? Because I have some notes here. Um, so now you've seen what my media kit looks like. So what I had wished I had known before I built my first one was how general you can make it, but how useful that information is. If you saw, I only had four bubbles on the bottom that were like 61% women, 65% United States, 71% between this age and this age. And this is my reach across all platforms combined. Boom, boom, boom. Like, and it was so easy to read real quick, right? A cute little bio, cute little sample photo of what it is that I had. And I wish that I didn't feel so so embarrassed and so nervous about my reach and my numbers because I had such great engagement and conversion at the time that I think if I would have had more confidence, I would have put myself out there more with more cold emailing to brands and partners and stuff like that pre-COVID. So, I think it's just really important to know that like there is so much that you can do regardless of your following because when you show up as your authentic self, people love that and they love to see that. And when they visit your accounts and they see that you're active and you post every day and you have engaging content and you having what I would call engagement bait in a positive way, right? Where people want to connect with you and stuff like that. Like people will visit your site to see if you're posting, to see what you're doing. They'll visit your website, they'll visit your YouTube channel. They want to see what's going on, what you're doing, what the comments look like, if you comment back to people, all of that jazz. So, um, there's a lot that goes into sending someone your media kit. And I just wish I would have had more confidence about sending my media kit to more people. I would have gotten more jobs. I would have made more money. I might be in a different situation, which I can't speak to if that would be worse or better, right? Because that's an alternate reality. But I think I would like to have had more confidence in myself, years ago when I was doing this. So, um, yeah. And, I think maybe what I'll do is I'll update my media kit and I'll share that in another episode, like an updated media kit of what that looks like now, just to see um, how I've evolved. Um, and, you know, somebody asked me for my media kit and I didn't have one time. And man, I scrambled hard for like 2 hours. I scrambled to get them the media kit because I really wanted the opportunity. But it was clearly so half-fast done and everything like it just looked awful. And nothing came of that collaboration anyway because I think it was very obvious that I had like put it together in desperation. So don't do that to yourself. Don't put a media kit together in desperation. Put it together to have it ready to go so that when someone does ask for your media kit or when you do want to cold email someone and just be like, "Hey, I think we'd be a good fit to collaborate," you have it ready to go. But the last point I want to make is your media kit is not a vanity document. It is a business tool. I want you to think of it the same way that you use it a resume to apply to a traditional 9 to 5 job. This is the same thing. Some people may be a better fit for the position than you. Some people may not be a better fit than the position than you, and you get chosen, right? It's just the exact same way, but you're selling yourself with your content and your business and everything like that. So I know it feels like there's more at stake. It feels more personal because it's you and not like just some random company you're applying to, right? But um it's still a very similar type of thought process. So I don't want you to get hung up on numbers. I don't want you to get hung up on, I'm not reaching enough people. I'm not engaging enough on my conversions. Just give them the numbers, give them who you are, give them what you do, give them who you serve, and you'd be really surprised. You'd be really surprised when people reach out to micro influencers. So don't get hung up on numbers. But if you want help figuring stuff out about your business, including your media kit or your blog or a 30-day action plan for getting your business started, I am available in Hot Mess Triage. I meet on Sundays and Tuesdays with people on one-on-ones. And yeah, it's been pretty great. I've met with a couple people already and it's been like very interesting for me because for those of you who've been following along know that I only started this coaching service maybe like a month or two ago at the request of my audience because um I have several videos where I was like, I'm not going to coach for at least 15 years. And here I am offering a coaching service. But it's been a lot of fun for me. It's been a really cool learning experience. And I've been kind of fine tuning it as I go and making sure that I'm giving people, the most valuable information that I possibly can. So there is like a questionnaire that you fill out before we even talk. So I have a lot of information going into the call. So I'm not learning about your business during the call. We're talking about your business during the call. We're having an active dialogue about your business during the call. So I think that's something that was really important to me. The mess hall also launches in 4 days. 4 days. Whoop, whoop. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on April 25th. It's just $5 to join each session. And like I said, I'm going to have monthly themes. We're going to have workshops every once in a while, and I have guest speakers lined up for later in the year, which I'm so excited for because to have guest speakers lined up like means that I'm onto something, right? Like when people were like, "Oh yeah, no, this sounds like it's going to be great," or "I do watch your channel," or like I checked out your channel and I think, we'd be a good fit. It's stuff like that that I'm just kind of like, "Yes, I'm nailing it. I'm doing it." Um, but yeah, so I hope this video was helpful for your first media kit. I know I got kind of wordy about it, but I think it's really important to not get caught up on those vanity metrics. Please don't, because I got caught up on the vanity metrics and I didn't send out a media kit for the longest time and I didn't have a media kit for the longest time. And I think I would have had a lot cooler opportunities had I just had the damn media kit, man. So have the media kit, create it. And if you're looking for help for media with your media kit or your blog or anything like that, you can find me at the link in my YouTube description that takes you to my Stan store where you can book a one-on-one with me. Okay? Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I truly hope it was helpful in terms of your media kit. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.